Now, if you're like me and you really enjoy using these old classic lenses, then you may also wish to use them on your maybe more modern digital cameras like the Sony a7 III. These lenses are a lot of fun. They come with a lot of history. My two lenses from my grandfather have been all over the world. They're almost more well-traveled than I am. He had this Nikkor 28mm f2.8. It's a completely manual lens. You have to do zone focus as well. It goes from 1 foot or 0.3 meters all the way up to 15 feet or 5 meters, and then it has an infinity bar, so you don't have a spot focus, it's zone focusing. And then it runs from f2.8 to f22, and this lens first, Nikon brought this out back in the mid-70s, I think 1975, and that's probably around the time my grandfather got it for his Nikkomat. And then the one I have adapted onto my camera, my Sony a7 III here, is the Nikkor SC Auto f1.4 50mm lens. And this lens first came out in March 1960, so it and I share the same birthday month. I'm also a March birthday, and he probably got it pretty early on, looking at his own photo albums. He was shooting a lot with the 50mm, so he probably got it in the early 60s, and for his work, and also just because he enjoyed traveling, he traveled a lot, both for work and for fun, all over the world. Japan, China, Europe. He went, he and my grandmother went a lot of places, and he was always taking pictures. And my father actually took these to Egypt back in 1982, right after Sadat was assassinated. My father and my mother and my grandmother sailed up to the Nile of Egypt. They had an incredible adventure, and my father brought my grandfather's old Nikkomat and all his lenses, and so these lenses have been around the world many times, and I'm excited to bring them kind of back to life with my Sony a7 III here. Now, to adapt these lenses, I just picked up a Vello, V-E-L-L-O adapter, and because these are completely mechanical lenses, they don't necessarily talk to the camera. You don't have autofocus or things like that. It's completely manual. I'm surprised by how sturdy and well built it is. It's metal, it's very well built, very sturdy. Which is great when you're putting lenses on your camera. The only kind of downside is it does stick out a little far, and I would have liked the lenses to be just a little bit more flush to the camera, so that they're not as bulky and long. These are such small primes that, especially this 28mm, the Vello adapter is almost as tall as the lens itself. If you take off the back cap, you see the Vello lens is almost as tall as the lens itself. So it would have been nice for it to be slightly lower profile, but they may have had to make it that tall to not risk the back of the lenses getting too close to the inside of the mirrorless camera. I don't know. But that's the only sort of downside. Otherwise, it works great. It's really easy to get and find. You can find them all over the internet, and it's wonderful to put these old classic lenses on your Sony. These lenses, like so many classic lenses, are so sharp, they're so well made, the color renditions are gorgeous, and so it's fun to kind of give these old lenses a new life with putting them on my Sony a7 III. So if you're thinking about taking your old Nikkor lenses and trying to put them on any of the Sony A series cameras, it's easy to do. You can just get one of these Vello adapters on any website like B&H or Amazon, or there's many different places that You can find them on the internet. I will list the name down below in the description. And I hope that helps you figure out how to adapt your old classic Nikkor lenses onto your Sony a7 III or whatever Sony A series camera you have. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe and the like button below. If you use old classic lenses on your Sony, I'd love to hear how you found them, how you're enjoying them. Please leave a comment down below, and I will see you on the next video.